Take 10 pilot is basically around giving our employees 10 minutes a day to be active during the working day. They can choose what activities they want them to do, but also we're providing some examples of equipment that they can use and ideas. So some of it can be things like walking to a meeting, some of it can actively be going out for a walk. We've got things like table tennis, which goes over the desks that they can do, but we're also looking for people to be quite innovative and come up with ideas themselves as well.
For the Take 10 pilot, we are Team 9, which means we are a management-led pilot. So the managers within our teams are supposed to be leading by example in terms of making sure that our teams feel that they are supported in this pilot.
As regards Take 10, I think it's absolutely fabulous initiative. I'll give you an example today, a live example. Myself and Dom went for a walk for 20 minutes, not 10. We did double 10, and we spoke about our business continuity plan. We've encouraged all the staff to partake in different exercises, either walking externally or doing things under the desk, and it's been a great success.
So we are halfway through the Take 10 pilot now. We're getting some feedback from colleagues about how it's going and how they're finding it, and different things are happening in different teams and with different individuals. So some teams are doing sort of stretching exercises every morning. The table tennis seems to be really popular. I think that's because people are saying you don't have to be really sporty and it's a bit of fun, and even if they're not good at it, they're enjoying the laugh that they're having with their colleagues and picking it up, and they still feel active doing it. Walking's obviously been quite a popular one as well, especially with some of the staff in the customer contact centre. One of the things we were looking to test as part of the pilot was having social media input. So we've set up a Facebook page for some of the teams that are taking part in Take 10, and looking at that, it's just good to see, not everybody's putting comments on it, but we're seeing things like the college had put a photo on of two of the gentlemen in the office doing the desk pedals. I've had somebody put a post on about that the steps have increased from the Fitbit for 25% up from last month. And then other people have been putting comments on like taking the stairs every day now, as well as doing the active 10. So it's great to see that people are sharing some of that.
I mean, the interesting thing was when we started this, we said it'd be great if we could get everybody to the stage where they was walking 10,000 steps a day, and there was just laughter in the office, and we've got people that, like Dom said, were very sedentary, doing 500, 1,000 steps a day now up to 5,000-6,000 steps a day.
So yeah, we're very supportive. Obviously, it should impact on the mental well-being of our staff. That'll be an interesting concept to find out. Obviously, it looks at sickness as well. If you feel good at work and you're happy at work, it generally supports people not being sick. So that'll be an interesting concept to see if it's improved.
So the sorts of things that people have been doing, usually people really like to do the walk around the Peace Hall, particularly when the weather's nice, because obviously it's just on our doorstep. But we do have a full-size table tennis table down in our kitchen, which people have really enjoyed, and that's been a big hit, particularly with the customer first staff who work in the face-to-face operation, because it's quite near to where they are. So they find it more accessible. We've also had the desk bikes, the pedal bikes, which unfortunately we can't use under the desks, but people have still been using sort of away from desks, especially if the weather's not been great. Where it's been really good is for the teams that are working on the front line, where they're taking a significant number of phone calls or dealing with a significant number of customers all in a row. So it means that they've just had a 10-minute breather where they've been able to take a break, get some fresh air, refocus, and it's really made a difference. When they've come back, they've felt that they've been re-energised.
Yeah, another thing that we've actually done different, we've actually got an allotment whereby we guide disadvantaged people to grow their own fruit and veg, and we're quite used to getting on buses and in taxis and walking there, and rather than walking there, for the last 6-7 weeks, both staff and clients together have been walking up there, enjoyed the banter, got some physical exercise as well as some mental well-being, so all positive.
As with anything like this, there's always some challenges as well, and not everybody responds to it in the same way. An example of this is that we've put table tennis on, we've booked out some meeting rooms on a lunchtime, so that people can book in for 10-minute sessions. And unfortunately we have had some complaints from some members of the council that have been in meetings, which I can see both sides, because sometimes when you've got a meeting and it was a little bit noisy, but on the other side of that we are working towards creating an active culture, so we really need to be looking at how we can enable that to happen. So things like maybe it's made us think about having something around some protected lunchtime so that rooms can be used, and encouraging staff not to have meetings at lunchtime but to actually use that time to be active or get out of the office.
Yeah, I mean, we've got the table tennis bats and tables. It's a bit difficult because, as you can see, it's a small office environment. So the staff are more inclined to go for walks, which does help them, particularly if they've had quite a stressful morning with some of the clients they work with. They'll get out of the office and go for a walk.
It has had its challenges. Obviously, I do work in an environment where we are measured by stats in terms of the number of phone calls we answer, the length of time that people have been waiting to be seen or to be answered. So there is an impact there, but obviously you've got to weigh that up against the physical and mental well-being that comes from being able to do this. So those are things that I'll be feeding back in afterwards as part of the evaluation, to say that if we do go forward with this, hopefully there'll be an acceptance that the benefits do outweigh the cons.
I mean, I think the things that we can do probably differently is probably encourage our staff more. Some of the ones that are less active, maybe an email on a Monday morning to say that obviously we are supporting the Calderdale Active and we're supporting our teams to be more active, and encourage them to go out for meetings, encourage them to get involved in activities during the lunchtime, or even with the pedals under the desk to have a little bit of a competition. That's probably something that we don't do as much of.
It's quite difficult to get feedback from everybody, and as part of this process there's different ways of doing it, things like this videos, questionnaires, but also sort of been speaking to teams and managers for a bit of feedback. And one of the managers that is actually actively leading their team said that the ones that are doing it, it's really positive, but there are some teams or some individuals that aren't taking part. So this is telling us that although they're actually being given permission and their manager's leading it and they're getting 10 minutes, they're still not all doing that. So that's something that we're going to obviously take back and learn from, and maybe dig deeper into find out what those reasons why people are not taking part when they've got the opportunity to do so.